I accidentally broke up with my girlfriend over a blender. So yeah. Title says it all. My name's Jake. I'm 28, live in Pittsburgh, and I somehow managed to torpedo a 3-year relationship over a kitchen appliance like some kind of sitcom reject. The dumb part? It wasn't even about the blender. It was about the fact that I pretended to care about the blender, and then doubled down so hard on being right that my girlfriend Laura, 27, basically said, "You know what? Screw it, I'm done." And honestly, fair. Here's what happened. Laura had this fancy Vitamix she bought years ago, like $400 worth of machine, basically her child. She's obsessed with smoothies, makes them every morning. Anyway, a couple weeks ago I was trying to make frozen margaritas for my buddies. Classy, I know. And maybe has put way too much ice and tequila in there. I thought it would be fine. Spoiler, it was not fine. The blender started making this death rattle noise like it was chewing gravel, and then, poof, dead. Laura comes home, sees the blender corpse on the counter, and I immediately panic. Instead of just owning up, I say something along the lines of, "Wow, I think your blender was already on its last legs." Now, anyone who knows Laura knows she is terrifyingly smart and has a memory like a steel trap. She immediately goes, "Funny, because it worked perfectly this morning. What did you do?" This is the fork in the road moment where a normal, sane boyfriend would go, "Yeah, I broke it, I'll replace it." But me? No. My brain said, "Lie harder." So I said, "Maybe you overloaded it. You've been using it a lot." Reader, when I tell you the look she gave me, it was like I'd just told her Santa isn't real, and also I'd been cheating with Mrs. Claus. We argued. She accused. I denied. She pulled up receipts on how many hours of use a Vitamix can handle. It spiraled from there. And eventually, in the dumbest argument escalation of all time, I blurted, "You're seriously going to make me the bad guy over a blender?" To which she replied, "If the shoe fits." And then she packed a bag and left for her sister's. That was 2 weeks ago. I thought she'd cool off and come back, but nope. She texted me yesterday, "I think we should just end things. This isn't really about the blender, Jake. It's about you never admitting when you screw up." And guys, I hate that she's right. Because it's not just the blender. It's the time I forgot to pay the parking ticket and the car got booted. Or when I swore I didn't eat her leftover pad thai when, obviously I did, the container was still warm in the trash. Or when I said I'd water her plants while she was visiting her mom and they basically turned into desert fossils. She's been keeping score and I've been giving her points. And the blender? That was the final straw. So here I am, a grown man, confessing to strangers on Reddit that I lost the love of my life because I refused to admit I destroyed a blender. Go ahead, roast me, I deserve it. Update 1. Apparently I'm the blender guy now. Wow. So I woke up this morning, checked Reddit, and nearly dropped my coffee because apparently my sad little blender confession has gone semi-viral. I don't know what I expected when I posted, but definitely not 4,000 comments calling me a smoothie serial killer. Couple highlights I screenshotted, because misery loves company. You blend her not said, "Bro didn't just ruin the blender, he ruined his relationship trying to gaslight his girlfriend about it. This is like final boss level stubbornness." You Fruit Ninja Supreme wrote, "Imagine having a girlfriend who loves you, forgives your dumb crap, and then you fumble it over frozen margaritas." Darwin Award nominee. And my personal favorite, You Let Us Pray. Jake, my guy, if lying was a protein powder, you'd be swole as hell. Thanks, Internet. Really appreciate being roasted into a protein shake myself. But to be fair, you're not wrong. I ended up reading comments until 3 a.m., half laughing, half crying. Don't picture it, it's not cute. And something clicked. Yeah, I've been that guy who cannot admit he screwed up. It's like my default setting is defensive dumbass. The worst part is, Laura saw the post. Yup. Apparently, one of her friends screenshotted it when it hit trending and sent it to her with the caption, "Is this you?" She texted me this morning. So you'll confess to 10,000 strangers but not to me? That one hit like a truck. I tried calling. She didn't pick up. Left a voicemail basically saying, yeah, I broke the blender, I'm sorry. Which is what I should have said 2 weeks ago instead of going full-on lawyer mode. Her sister, by the way, also messaged me. You're a clown, but at least you finally admitted it. Don't expect her to come back, though. Cool. Love that my ex's family group chat is probably sending memes of me blending our relationship into mush. I don't know, guys. Half of Reddit is telling me to buy her a new Vitamix and apologize like a human being. The other half is saying to let her go because I clearly have issues with accountability. So which is it? Do I pull the grand gesture and ship her the world's fanciest blender with an apology note? Or do I take the L and let Blender Boyfriend be my permanent internet legacy? Because right now, I'm leaning toward hiding in a cave. I bought the blender. It did not go how I thought. So after a week of being called the blender guy, both on Reddit and in real life, yes, my coworkers found the post, kill me now, I caved. Reddit, you got in my head. Every other comment was some version of, buy her a Vitamix and apologize like a man, Jake. And honestly, it sounded romantic in my brain, like, look, babe, I ruined your blender and our relationship, but here's me fixing both. So I did it. I dropped $500 on a Vitamix 5200, the Cadillac of blenders, and shipped it directly to her apartment with a note that said, Laura, I'm sorry I broke your blender, and I'm sorrier I broke your trust. I'd blend 1,000 margaritas if it meant one more chance with you. Jake. Yes, I know, cringe. But I thought maybe cringe plus sincerity than be forgiveness. Anyway, I didn't hear anything for 3 days. I was losing my mind. Then Friday night, I get a text from her. Thanks for the blender, it's nice. But you can't buy your way out of this, Jake. It's not about the blender. It never was. And she's right. Again. Which is somehow worse than being ignored because it means she's still willing to engage. But she's done. Here's the kicker, though. Apparently, Laura posted about it on her Instagram story. She put up a picture of the new Vitamix with the caption, when your ex thinks $500 erases years of him never admitting he's wrong. Thanks for the smoothies, though. Her followers roasted me. Some random dude I don't even know replied to it with, at least he didn't try to mail you an air fryer. That's a TikTok trend waiting to happen. I got screenshots from mutual friends. My buddy Trevor even sent it in our group chat with, Yo, Jake, you're famous. Famous. For being a clown. And if that wasn't humiliating enough, someone on Reddit apparently connected the dots and posted on EAE to mildly infuriating like, my friend's sister just got dumped over a blender and this is what the guy sent her. Guess who ended up in the comments? You blend her not again. Called it. I hate this. I mean, I deserve it, don't get me wrong. But there's something uniquely soul-crushing about being memed for your worst personality flaw. It's not even just Laura I lost. It's the dignity I'll never get back. But here's the thing. Reading all your comments again, I realized. This isn't about getting her back anymore. It's about fixing myself. Because if I don't, I'm just going to ruin the next relationship over something even stupider, like a toaster or a scented candle, so yeah. I booked a therapy appointment, first session's next week. Don't clap, I can hear you clapping through the screen. Therapy, Reddit drama, and a surprise cameo. So I had my first therapy session yesterday. And before anyone gets too excited, no, I didn't walk out healed and glowing like I just leveled up in The Sims. But it was eye-opening. The therapist, we'll call her Dr. K, asked me why it was so hard for me to admit I screwed up. And without missing a beat, I said, because if I admit I messed up, it feels like I'm losing. And then she just stared at me for a solid 10 seconds until I realized how completely unhinged that sounded when said out loud. Like, bro, this isn't the NBA playoffs. It's a blender. Anyway, Dr. K gently informed me that relationships aren't about winning or losing, and that I may, quote, use defensiveness as a shield to avoid feeling inadequate. Which is therapist code for, Jake, you're kind of a dumbass, but I'll fix you. Meanwhile, Reddit is still absolutely eating me alive. Someone cross-posted my updates to our Josh relationships with the title, Guy loses girlfriend because he lied about breaking her blender. Doubles down by buying her another blender. Top comment? Smoothie King 420. Therapy is great, but let's be real. This man is one Ninja sponsorship away from a redemption arc. And no, Ninja has not reached out. Cowards. But here's the part I wasn't expecting. Last night I'm doom scrolling and I get a DM on Instagram. It's Laura. Heart stopped. I opened it. She sent me a screenshot of one of my Reddit updates. Someone had tagged her again in the comments like, "Isn't this your ex?" And she wrote, "Jake, you're becoming internet famous for all the wrong reasons. Please stop." So, naturally, I panicked and sent back, "I can't stop, Laura. People need to know the truth about Blender accountability." She didn't respond, which, fair. I reread that message later and wanted to punch myself. But the weirdest part? She didn't block me. Which in 2025 dating terms is basically a hug, right? Anyway, therapy round 2 is next week. Dr. K gave me homework. Think of a time you admitted you were wrong and it made your relationship better. Spoiler, my brain is blank, like completely empty, like Windows 95 blue screen empty. So, I guess Reddit, this is the part where I crowdsource. Has anyone here ever actually gotten closer to someone by admitting you were wrong? Because to me, it still feels like getting dunked on. I saw her, in person, and yeah, it was awkward. So therapy homework was to find a time I admitted I was wrong, and it made things better. Spoiler, I had nothing. I sat there in Dr. K's office like a student who forgot the essay was due, stammering, "Well, one time I admitted I was wrong about, directions?" And Dr. K just gave me that same disappointed teacher look. She told me my inability to recall even a single instance is exactly the problem. Apparently, I've built my whole personality around being right, which, ironically, has made me very wrong at life. Cool. Love that. Anyway, fast forward to Saturday. I'm at Giant Eagle, for non-Pittsburghers, that's our grocery store, in sweatpants, buying frozen pizzas and Gatorade like the single trash man I am. When guess who I run into? Laura. Of course, because the universe is a troll. She looked good, like annoyingly good. Hair done, cute jeans, holding a basket full of kale and almond milk like the health goddess she is. Meanwhile, I looked like I'd just crawled out of a basement gaming session. She saw me, sighed, and said, "Hi, Jake." And I swear every therapy lesson I'd had evaporated out of my brain. I panicked and blurted, "I bought you a blender." Yup, that's all I said, like some broken NPC stuck on one dialogue option. She laughed. Actually laughed, and then shook her head like classic Jake. We talked for maybe 5 minutes. It wasn't hostile, but it wasn't warm either. She said she appreciated the gesture but reiterated, for like the 10th time, that it was never about the blender. She told me she saw I was in therapy now. Thanks, Reddit detectives. Apparently one of you found my post on Facebook and tagged her again. And she said, "I hope it helps you." And then she left. Just like that. I stood there holding a box of bagel bites like it was a funeral urn. Later I checked Reddit again. Why do I do this to myself? And of course, someone had already made a meme about me with the caption, "Jake IRL, still blending excuses." You let us pray again? You're too fast. Do you people sleep? But here's the thing. Seeing her in person didn't make me want to win her back like some romantic comedy. It just made me sad. Sad because she deserves someone who doesn't treat admitting fault like losing a court case. So yeah, therapy continues. Reddit continues to roast me. Laura continues to haunt me like a smoothie-loving ghost. And me? I'm just trying to not screw up the next grocery store interaction with anyone ever again. Turns out the blender wasn't my only crime scene. Okay, so therapy is officially kicking my ass. Dr. K asked me to make a list of moments where I should have admitted I was wrong but didn't. Thought it'd be like 3 things tops. Ended up filling 2 pages. 2 pages. Highlights include the time I told my boss the quarterly report was delayed by IT issues, when really I just forgot about it and binge-watched Breaking Bad instead. The time I swore to my buddy Trevor I didn't spill beer in his car. even though my jeans smelled like Coors for 3 days. The time I told Laura her cat must have gotten into the trash on his own. Reality. I forgot to close the lid. Trash explosion. Cat looked like a raccoon. And yes, the infamous pad thai incident. Reddit will never let me live that one down. I get DMs saying RIP leftover noodles at least once a week now. So yeah, apparently my entire life is one long episode of Jake lies about dumb shit. Here's the kicker though. After writing that list, I texted Trevor and admitted about the beer. His response? "Lol, dude, I knew. You left the can under the seat. But hey, proud of you for finally admitting it." And weirdly, it felt good, like a tiny part of my brain unclenched. Dr. K was right. Admitting you're wrong doesn't have to feel like getting dunked on. Sometimes it's just telling the truth and moving on. Who knew? Answer: literally everyone but me. Meanwhile, Reddit is still wild. Someone made a TikTok reading my posts aloud with dramatic music in the background. It has like 200K views. My cousin sent it to our family group chat with, "Jake, is this you?" And now my mom keeps calling me Blender Boy every time she answers the phone. Love that for me. Oh, and Laura. Yeah. She reached out again. She texted me last night. "I'm glad you're in therapy. I mean that. But please stop writing about me online." And she's right. She didn't sign up to be internet content, but also, this is kind of my only outlet right now. Hi, he threw off my chest. Love you, hate you. So I told her, okay, I'll stop writing about you. Which ironically was probably another lie because, well, here I am. Yeah, I lied again, but this time I caught myself. So therapy is great and all, but apparently, just because you realize you're a defensive idiot doesn't mean you magically stop being one. Case in point. Last weekend, I went out with a couple of friends to this dive bar we always hit on Saturdays. Trevor, yes, beer car Trevor, asked if I wanted to split nachos. I said sure. 30 minutes later, the nachos show up, and because I'm basically a human raccoon, I ate 80% of them before he even grabbed a chip. Naturally, he called me out. "Bro, you demolished these. I barely got any." And without even thinking, I blurted, "Nah, man, we split it pretty evenly." Classic Jake. Deny, deny, deny. But here's the twist. Halfway through saying it, I heard myself. Like I actually heard how stupid I sounded gaslighting my friend over a pile of cheese-covered tortilla chips. And I stopped. Mid-bite. I put the chip down and went, "Okay, yeah, I ate most of it, my bad, I owe you wings next round." Trevor just stared at me like I'd grown a second head. Then he grinned and said, "Holy shit, therapy's working." And that was it. No fight, no sulking, just honesty. And it didn't kill me. Okay, maybe my pride died a little, but honestly, it deserved it. Meanwhile, Reddit is still chaos. Apparently, someone printed my original post, framed it, and gave it as a gag gift at their wedding shower. You blend her not. If you're reading this, you're sick for sending me the picture, but also, respect. And Laura? Yeah. She's still popping up in my life like the ghost of smoothies past. I was at the farmer's market yesterday, and who do I see? Laura, buying peaches. I swear the universe is trolling me at this point. She saw me, gave me a little nod, and get this, she actually asked, "How's therapy?" I said, "Good." I admitted to eating nachos too fast. She laughed, like actually laughed. Not a pity laugh, not a sarcastic laugh, but a real, genuine Laura laugh. And for half a second I remembered what it felt like when things were good between us. Then she said, "I'm glad, keep it up," and walked off. That's it, that's where we're at. She's moving on. I'm slowly learning how to not be the world's most defensive man alive. And maybe that's enough. I admitted I was wrong, and it didn't destroy me. Okay, so I had my first real test in the wild, outside nachos and blenders. At work, I handle logistics for a small manufacturing company here in Pittsburgh. Last week, one of our shipments got delayed because I forgot to confirm with the trucking company. Classic slip-up. My boss asked why the order hadn't gone out, and my reflex kicked in. I almost said something about the driver not showing up, but I stopped myself. I literally felt the words forming in my throat, and I swallowed them back down like a chunk of dry bagel. Instead, I just said, "Honestly, I forgot to confirm. That's on me, I'll fix it. I'll fix." The room went silent. My boss just blinked at me, probably because he's used to me spinning some excuse about how Mercury was in retrograde or whatever. Then he said, "Okay, thanks for owning it. Let's make sure it doesn't happen again." That was it. No yelling, no lecture, just acknowledgement and moving forward. Do you know how insane that felt? I've been out here building a whole personality on never being wrong, and all it got me was a breakup, therapy bills, and Reddit calling me the blender guy. Meanwhile, owning it took 30 seconds and solved the problem. Like, why did it take me 28 years to figure this out? Oh, and Reddit. You guys are the worst best. Someone, you Fruit Ninja Supreme, I see you, made merch that says "Admit It, Jake" in big block letters. Apparently they sold 200 shirts already. My friend sent me a selfie wearing one. My mom sent me a selfie wearing one. She said, "Finally, my son has a catchphrase. I hate it here." As for Laura, no big news there. We haven't really talked since the farmer's market, but the thing is, I don't feel like everything I'm doing now is for her anymore. It started that way, yeah. But now it's for me. Because if I don't fix this, I'll just keep wrecking stuff, and not just appliances. So yeah, still single. Still the blender guy. But maybe a slightly better version of him. Closure over coffee, and yes, there was a blender on the counter. So, it finally happened. Laura texted me out of nowhere. "Do you want to grab coffee?" I sat there staring at my phone like it had just proposed marriage to me. Part of me wanted to scream yes and run to the cafe immediately, but another part of me knew this wasn't a "maybe we'll get back together" invite. It was a "let's close the book" invite. Still, I went. We met at this little indie cafe we used to go to on Sundays. The place hadn't changed, except they had a brand new blender sitting on the counter behind the barista, like the universe was mocking me in HD. Laura looked calm. Not sad, not angry. Just steady. Meanwhile, I was sweating through my shirt like I was on trial. We talked. She told me she didn't hate me, which, honestly, I needed to hear. She said she was glad I was in therapy and that she could see I was making progress. But she also said something that gutted me. "Jake, I can be proud of you and still not want to be with you." Oof. Right to the chest. She explained that it wasn't just about the blender. We all know this by now. It was years of little things. Me dodging accountability, making her feel like she was crazy for calling me out. Death by 1,000 denials. And she didn't want to go back to that, even if I was trying to change now. I told her she was right, like actually said the words, "You're right. I screwed up. I was wrong." And she smiled. Not a "take me back" smile. More like a "finally this idiot gets it" smile. We sat in silence for a minute and then she said, "You'll be better for the next person, just don't wait until you lose them to figure it out." And that was it. We hugged. It wasn't long. It wasn't dramatic. Just a hug. And then she walked out of the cafe, and I realized that was probably the last time I'd see her. I sat there with my coffee until it went cold, watching the blender behind the counter whir to life every few minutes, like some cosmic reminder of my own stupidity. But for the first time in months, I didn't feel defensive. I didn't feel the urge to argue or justify. I just felt closure. So yeah, Laura's chapter is closed. It sucks. It hurts. But maybe it's what I needed to finally stop blending my life into excuses. Final update. The end of Blender Guy, kind of. So here it is, the last one. Promise. It's been a couple months since that coffee with Laura. We haven't spoken since. No dramatic run-ins, no late-night texts, no maybe someday. Just silence. And honestly, that's okay. Therapy's still happening. And I've learned a lot about myself, like a lot. Turns out when you spend your whole life treating every mistake like a personal trial, you're not actually protecting yourself. You're just building a wall no one wants to climb. I'm working on it, slowly. Sometimes I still catch myself wanting to lie about dumb stuff. No, officer, I totally wasn't speeding, etc. But now I hear it before it leaves my mouth. Progress, not perfection. As for my online infamy, yeah, Blender Guy is still haunting me. Someone made a parody TikTok where a dude dramatically reenacted my posts with a Vitamix sitting in the background. It hit 1 million views. I wish I was kidding. Even my boss joked about it at work. He walked by my desk holding his smoothie and went, "Careful, Jake, don't break this one." The whole office laughed. Old me would have sulked or tried to deny it. New me, I just laughed too. Because, yeah, I earned it. Here's the wild part though. Being Blender Guy isn't all bad. Some of you in the comments actually thanked me, said you recognized a little of yourself in my defensiveness, or that you sent my post to your partner as a "see, let's not end up like this" moment. If me being a clown on the internet helps someone else not blow up their relationship over nachos or noodles or, hell, a blender, then maybe it wasn't all for nothing. So yeah, no fairy tale ending. No, we got back together. Just me trying to be less of an idiot every day. I'll probably always be Blender Guy. But maybe that's not a curse. Maybe it's a reminder. Because if there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Sometimes the stupidest mistakes are the ones that finally get you to change. Thanks for the roasts, the advice, the memes, and the tough love. Reddit, you blended me into a better man. Jake. If you like these stories and videos, make sure to like, comment, and share so we can make some money from ad revenue and continue getting better and better with our publications. We strive to donate a portion of everything we make to charities that make a difference. Let us know if there is someone or thing you want to support. Thank you for staying until the end and enjoying the story.